Now, thank you so much for staying with us here on Food Thursday on Lookup TV. On to our discussion tonight. Now, we are often told that regular exercise is great for our health, particularly preventing major diseases like cardiovascular disease and other lifestyle diseases. But does that mean if you are fit and active, you don't need to worry about ever getting lifestyle diseases? Now, bottom line, while exercise is certainly helpful, there is also something called diet. Today, we look at the role that a good diet plays in averting lifestyle diseases. We speak to Grace Njuguna, who is a nutritionist, on that and what planning a diet entails for people with lifestyle diseases. Thank you so much for joining us for this discussion here on Food Thursday. We are talking about diet and lifestyle diseases, and to discuss this with me is Grace Njuguna, who is a nutritionist. Thank you so much for making time for this discussion.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now, I think it's important to actually have this discussion, diet and lifestyle diseases. But before we get, to the details of just how to plan your diet, let's try and understand lifestyle diseases. When somebody says lifestyle diseases, what do they mean?
If I would say lifestyle diseases, then I would mean conditions that crop up due to changed behavior, things I have started doing that have brought about negative impact on my body, that have led to my body reacting in a negative way, leading to a disease cropping up. So basically, that is how I would describe lifestyle diseases.
Oh, exactly. Now, let's look at some of the things that probably, if we did, if I was living life in a certain way and decide to change. If we are to give an example, what example would it be that now somebody can be sitting at home and saying, okay, this is what I used to do, but now I changed to doing this particular thing, and I'm running a risk of probably suffering from my lifestyle disease. Probably somebody is doing something and they have no idea. Well,
I would consider them factors that influence lifestyle diseases. And a majority of those are pretty much vast by the fact that we live in Kenya. So there are things that we were used to doing and we are no longer doing, or we are phasing them out very slowly. There's also the concept of urbanization. So with urbanization, there's westernization that has been brought into the picture. There's a concept of our forefathers, our parents, inclusive of our parents, by the way, and our grandparents. There's something that they used to do that we are no longer doing. I'll pick a practical example, mobility. How often do we walk long distances in one day? How long? I mean, our parents, more like our grandparents, didn't used to exercise, like show up to the gym or do a run.
Did we even have the gym stuff? I don't know.
Well, not really. So right now we get to have very busy schedules, running from as early as 7 a.m. and showing up as late as 6 p.m. Before you leave your workplace to home, you're using, vehicles. Then you get home, you're dropped exactly at the gate. So you get into the house, you get to go to shower. You've not done anything. So your basic day has ended up from showing to work, from showing up to work, from work to home, and the cycle continues. So there's not so much space for walking around anymore. And if you need to get somewhere, you need to get there very fast as well.
Now, so then we say, even with, as we or rather get into modernity, because somebody will argue, walking, that was then, we didn't have to, back then we did not have probably vehicles as much as we have today. So we are in a different era. So in this era, let's now accept. So what you're trying to say is, as much as we are accepting modernity, then probably modernity is something that is going to cost us our lives.
If we are not careful. Again, I'll say this from the perspective of individualizing care and as well as making the choice. That is an individual choice to make. So you get to go to work. That is mandatory because you got to make a living anyway. But how you end up ensuring that you do not use 50% of your life earnings when you get to the fourth floor here means for 40 years, using 50% of that life earning to take care of your health later is totally dependent on how you manage your time, on what choices you make, food choices, exercise choices as well. It cuts across all that.
So then I don't want to get into that particular, I don't want to get to fourth floor and how to spend everything that I've worked for all my life, probably at that point, and start taking care of my health, right? And going to the hospital, that's why you have to run to the hospital because probably this you have a condition out of just how you've been living. Then what role does diet play in just reducing that, probably reducing lifestyle diseases, if we may?
I'll take it from the perspective of prevention, per se.
Yeah.
And, well, nutrition plays a huge role. I'll place it this way. Nutrition plays 80% and then exercise is 20%. So basically, whatever you take in is either going to be stored or going to be utilized to either build your immunity or break it down.
Wow. Okay, let's go back a little bit. You said nutrition plays 80% and exercise 20%.
Correct.
And the argument sometimes is, as much as you exercise, you should eat properly. So when somebody argues like that and say, if you're going to exercise, yes, it's good to exercise, but also eat properly. They make exercise like the 80% and probably diet as the 20%.
I would disagree with the simple fact that if you're exercising 80% of the day, you're forgetting that your body is a combination of systems. You've got your brain system, you've got your digestive system, you've got your circulatory, in this case, your heart system. You've got your nervous system combined as well. So all these systems utilize energy from food. They do not utilize energy broken down from your fat stores during exercise. So you need to replenish, all right? Now, the brain, to be precise, uses energy from food sources we call carbohydrates, in this case, glucose. That means you will not have to exercise 80% for you to actually have good, normal brain function. So as a result, I'll disagree with that fact. And also note, as much as you're exercising, that is basically ensuring that you're fit. What about what you're putting into your system?
Into your system. All right. Okay, now let's get into, now we've looked at that and just now what we put into our system. What would that then look like if somebody is suffering from a particular, lifestyle disease? So what would then my diet look like? What should it look like?
It should look like you.
Expound on that.
I say that because we work on individualizing and personalizing meal plans. We work towards that direction because your body system is not my body system and it is not any other person's body system. Meaning, how you respond to nutrition is very different from how someone else will respond to nutrition. All right? By this fact, have you ever asked yourself why, if you have two people, I think you probably have noticed this, and you're used to having French fries, yeah?
Totally, I do.
I know, right? Sorry, you just said it out loud.
Yeah.
So you're used to having French fries, and this is a simple, slim person, usual body size. However many days they get to eat these French fries, they never pop up.
No.
All right? And then there's a category of people, if they do that just for 3 days, they add weight tremendously.
Wow.
Why? Because how your genes respond to nutrients is very different from someone else. So, and then there's also the concept of metabolism also being different for different people.
Okay.
The reason why you cannot generalize nutrition.
Whoa, so it's not like, so the argument that people mostly have, it's I think when people are taking French fries, somebody is taking that for a particular purpose because they want to gain weight and they constantly do that, but it doesn't happen. The reason is because the body, how their body responds to this particular nutrient is not the same way as somebody else's.
Very good.
Wow.
And the metabolism as well is different.
So there are so many things that come into play.
Yes. Pretty much so.
And we never, okay, so let's look at now, you say a diet should look like me. What is that goes, what kind of food are we talking about?
The food we're talking about is, again, influenced by several things. I'll give you a practical example.
Okay.
If I go to Vihiga County, what is mostly eaten there is ugali, mrenda, and fish or omena.
Yes.
If you come to Kiambu, Or you go to, let me give the simplest of places where I come from, Ranga County. They use plenty of maize and beans, making githeri.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, fine.
Okay. Now, if I go to the coast, then there will be viazi karai, a lot of potatoes used, and a lot of wheat product used all the way, all right? So all these factors need to be placed in terms of where someone is coming from, and then plan them from that perspective. You have to do selection from what we call healthier options of food sources. Meaning that you might have a chance, 25% chance or 50% chance to actually, get the condition at some point in your life. So you start doing prevention as early as possible. By the time it's coming, you'll not be caught off guard and you'll not be in denial. As well, that is pretty much important because, well, the condition crops in, you'll be able to take care of yourself as a person because you already know that this would happen. Now that it has happened, I get to lead on with my life. Why? Because I already know how to deal with it.
Let's look at something in terms of, having a certain way of doing things and just probably, like I mentioned sometime back or rather earlier, we argue it is at times expensive to, live healthy. So then what do we do, like if we want to change a particular way of life, which direction then should we start taking? What do you look at inside, by the way, I'm getting to this particular point in my life and I need to change the way I'm living. Like what are some of the things that you look at and, should be a trigger?
First and foremost, it's your mindset. Mindset by the fact that if any change is needed to happen in a human being, it starts in the mind. And number two, you need to note the pros and cons. If I change my lifestyle to suit a healthy way, what am I giving up? Is it necessary to give it up? Now, if it is definitely necessary, and please note, 99.9% it is necessary, it means that you're going to live a peaceful life, a worry-less life. Why? Because the moment lifestyle diseases crop in, please note, a disease cropping in, it means that you are prone to complications of the same lifestyle diseases and the complications that come in. So meaning that if I am doing a change, I'm doing it to benefit me, to benefit my health, meaning I can bear the cost now and celebrate later rather than wait to celebrate now and then pay later. And half the time that is a mentality that we have. We celebrate now, piga sherehe sahi, that's a concept. Celebrate now and pay later, which becomes something else because note, paying later means that you have someone dependent on you. 90% of the time is that we have families. So you're paying school fees, there are all these other projects that are in the picture. And now you have to put into the picture the cost of medicine and, dietary restrictions that also come with lifestyle diseases altogether. So, I mean, is it worth the pain of having to pay later?
No.
Or is it worth paying now, investing in myself right now? The concept is not actually paying now, it's actually investing in my health, right now.
Now, which brings me to this now. I think before we, there's something about now just focusing on now nutrition and what exactly should probably my diet, your diet or someone else out there's diet should look like in terms of averting or rather just fighting lifestyle diseases. Do I need to come to you for guidance or should I just, decide that, okay, when I read somewhere, this is exactly what they say about, do I need professional help when it comes to just changing my diet or something?
Yes, the answer is very definitely yes, because you have to look at the factors that I placed in. For example, I have to look at how your genes respond to nutrients. So you get to plan for yourself and then you notice, I'll practically give an example with weight and weight loss and weight gain, you plan for yourself and you realize none of these things are working.
Why are they not working?
Why are they not working? Because you only considered the food itself. You did not consider other factors therein, all right? Metabolism inclusive. We also look at body composition analysis, something that nutrition is can only be able to define that for you. So yes, you definitely need to seek out that professional help from a licensed nutritionist or dietitian. The word is licensed.
Licensed, meaning we have others who are not licensed and acting like it.
This profession does not have quirks.
Even media does. Okay. So then what should my diet look like in terms of, give me something practical, like when I wake up in the morning, I do have breakfast, right? If I'm supposed to be living healthy, what do I need to be having on my breakfast? What should I include?
For the sake of viewers, allow me to use you as the example in this case. Why? Because
case study.
Precisely, right? Yeah. So it's easier for me to use you as an example because it will be easier for you to actually change your own lifestyle.
Exactly.
So what did you have for breakfast today?
Today,
I'm curious.
so today I had chapati.
Oops.
And I think I had, what else? Not sweet potato, Irish potato. And yes, a mixture of that and tea. It's healthy because I needed something that is going to last the whole day. You understand? Because I work a lot.
Work, definition of work in this case is very different to everyone.
Okay.
I'll put it this way. If you are going to work the entire day and your work entails you sitting down, then you need to have what we call whole grain foods. They make you feel full for longer and not requiring you to eat more often than not.
Okay.
So whole grain will entail oatmeal in the morning in this case. I'd rather even eat last night's dinner for breakfast and go to work.
Okay.
That is a bit better than having to eat bread and tea and, walk out. You'll feel hungry very fast because one concept is that your system digests very fast.
Okay.
So by the time there's complete emission of glucose from your blood system, you're now feeling hungry again. Your brain is stimulated. I'm hungry, so I need something to eat. You go for the next good thing that is available.
But so what you're trying to say is like bread and tea is not something that is actually advisable to actually be taking for breakfast?
It's a yes or no.
Okay.
Because there are different case scenarios altogether. Remember, the concept here I put is if you're going to work and you're going to sit for long hours. And you do, of course, no one wants to keep eating every other time. Of course, there are people who do that, but the point here is you want to maintain a healthy heart, a healthy system altogether. Get something that has fiber. Fiber are the things that, the nutrients that pretty much help, one, slow digestion, basically ensuring that, you have really good stool, you have less constipation more often than not. But number two, that fiber makes you feel full. You will not have the need, you will not feel the need to eat again. Okay.
So what I had for breakfast, was that something that you would recommend?
Well, first and foremost, Irish potato, easily digested. Chapati, also easily digested. Your tea, head milk?
No.
Just black tea?
Yeah.
So basically that's a stimulant. And that's it. There's no fiber in that picture. You wanted it to last the whole day? Yeah. Believe you me, you might be feeling hungry right now.
I am feeling hungry.
Thanks for confirming.
I am feeling hungry. Okay, so so if at all I didn't have that, assuming I ate healthy in the morning, then what do I need to have something during the day, or I can survive till the
you can have something during the day. I mean, it's actually recommended that you have 3 meals and 2 snacks during the day, yeah? But half the time, more often than not, reality, things on the ground are pretty much different, yeah? So you'll have your breakfast, you can easily have a healthy snack, either nuts and seeds, the likes of groundnuts, cashew nuts, excuse me, or a fruit. And in this case, please do not misuse fruits because they contain glucose. I said a fruit.
So,
or even, better still, a piece of a fruit, because a watermelon is a fruit, yeah? But can you have the entire watermelon?
No, you can't have it.
Unless you're having a piece of watermelon.
Misusing is actually having too much of it.
Correct.
Ah.
Correct.
So then, a fruit a day, or just?
Depends on really on what you're looking out for. there are different sources of nutrients distributed in the fruits. Vitamin C entailing, there's vitamin E entailing, apples being one of those. Pretty much what you're looking for is having something that gives you nutrients and fiber at the same time.
Okay.
All right. So there's a concept of eating an orange and leaving the fibrous bit, you know, throwing it away.
Okay.
We get to take the vitamin C through. We also get to take in the glucose, also from a form of what we call fructose, but we leave the fiber out. Okay.
Okay.
It's more recommended to actually have fruits themselves than juices of them.
All right.
Because you get to break down the fiber that is supposed to be helping with your gut health more often than not.
Okay.
So there is misuse, but use one thing at a time. It's more advisable. You easily get to know what you tolerate than not. There are people who actually don't tolerate tomatoes, for starters. More commonly known as matunda ya damu. Yeah, the people who do not tolerate those.
Okay.
So if you are doing a mixture, you will not really know what irritated you or what your system doesn't really go well with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at now, I think, in terms of, because this week we are celebrating World Heart Day or something like that. Does the heart too, in terms of just nutrition, also need to be taken care of in terms of what you consume in terms of just food?
Yes, by all means, yes.
How do we make it strong?
The word is not strong. How do we make it, and how do we ensure that it remains so?
Oh, it is strong. So how do we ensure that it remains strong?
Exactly.
Okay.
So basically, there's a concept of heart-friendly, and it runs out from what I've talked about all through, ensuring that you have your food is rich in fiber, ensuring that there is not a or a disequilibrium in your cholesterol levels in the blood. Cholesterol is actually produced by your body. It's not gotten from fat. Let me just clarify that. So the fiber here is to ensure...
before we go far, like cholesterol is...
produced by your body.
So when you're having food that they say is cholesterol free, then what
it's actually true. It's cholesterol free.
Are they trying to tell you now it is healthy for you to consume if actually you do produce that? It's
more of a marketing jam. Point is, it's actually cholesterol free.
Okay.
Okay. Your body makes the cholesterol. So there's no cooking oil or fat that's containing cholesterol. Your body makes that cholesterol for you.
All right. Okay, so as we wind up on this one, now, I don't know, lifestyle diseases. Now, who does it probably, no, in most cases affect? Do we have kids involved? Is it just probably people who have hit third floor or fourth floor? Does it cut across the board? Because when I asked about at what point in life do we now start caring for, just being concerned about how we are living, then you said when we are old enough to understand who we are. So does it cut across the board when it comes to lifestyle diseases?
I would say yes. With this reasoning, well, it is true a majority of the lifestyle diseases get to start hitting us from 40 years and above. There are types of lifestyle diseases that actually get to hit us from an earlier age. I'll give an example with diabetes, a form that is called MODY diabetes. It pretty much hits people in their 20s, but shows itself like type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And majority of the time it is brought around about by, being obese, one. Number two, that by the fact that you're having fat stores, you're becoming insulin sensitive. Basically, your glucose roaming around the blood to supply energy to your cells cannot access your cells. All right?
Okay.
By that fact, that means you need to start losing that weight for you to actually be able to take up that glucose all over again. In the meantime, you'll be placed on medication. Of course, you land in my office. That means, well, of course, office not being physical, it means that you get to see me. And my colleagues, that means you have to change your lifestyle for the better. And please note, the word here is for the better.
Okay.
Fact here is that you're investing in your life now to ensure you actually celebrate later.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, let's look at investing in your life for the better. Now, when people come to you, how hard, or rather, how easy is it to change just the way they've been living and the way they've been used to living? And just tell them, now, this one is affecting your health. This is exactly what you need to do. Do they follow?
The moment someone is actually landing where to ask for help, it basically means they're asking for help, and that means they're at the verge of losing hope.
Okay.
It's my job to actually give them hope and tell you, yeah, if this is the decision you've made, please note it comes from a decision point of view.
Okay.
They're making the choice for lifestyle change. It is both hard and easy, dependent on the mindset.
Okay.
So half the time I'll discharge them, tell them, come back in 2 weeks when you've made the decision fully. I mean, this is a lifestyle change. Lifestyle means that you cannot look back, yeah?
Yeah.
This is my way. This is the road I am picking, and this is what I'm going with.
So we don't have a case where somebody probably who is under someone being forced to take a particular, lifestyle change.
That is more of peer pressure, really, than being under someone, I would say. Because, like I said, so long as you're above the age of 18 years, that means the decision is totally yours. The Constitution has given you that mandate entirely.
Yeah.
So if you take the decision of following a different route, you did that to yourself. You made that decision. So it's basically a choice. The same way you go to the market, to the food market, and select certain foods, certain veggies. Those are choices that you're making. Those are food choices that you're making. So the best thing is that we thrive to ensure that we empower people to make proper food choices. Of course, for better health, for a better economy, because of course, if you're having an unproductive family, basically that means your economy is also failing in the process. So food choices basically affect us all the way to the country level. Yeah.
Okay, so for somebody who's, from a nutritionist perspective, for somebody who is, who wants to have a particular lifestyle change and probably they don't have a trigger yet, something just telling them, you need to go for this one. They are thinking about it, but they haven't decided yet, or probably they are struggling with, just coming to a decision. What would you tell them right now?
I would tell them, take the first step.
The first step is?
Go seek professional help.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Okay.
It's never that hard. Just take the first step.
All right.
You only start a journey by making the first step. Being stuck where you are, you're not going anywhere. You just stagnate. Yeah. So just take the first step. Simple.
Okay. And are we avoiding now fast foods because they're taking us to an early grade probably? So we should avoid fast foods, right?
They are not advisable.
They are not advisable.
If it's once in a while, we are human beings, please note, that is fine. But if it's an everyday deal, well, obesity is simply just gazing. Lifestyle diseases are basically just gazing at us. So the concept here is invest in yourself. Okay. Simple. Pretty much invest in your health.
Thank you so much, Grace, for having this discussion with us. You're talking about diet and lifestyle diseases. How can you just use diet to avert whatever lifestyle diseases that might be on its way? Yes, if you don't want to visit her office and be forced probably to take a different direction when it comes to what you consume, then you can start having that particular change right now. Thank you so much, Grace, for having this discussion with us here at Look Up TV on Food Thursday. I am really grateful that you could make time for this discussion.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, yeah, that's the end of this discussion. Thank you so much for watching.
Now, that does it for us here on Food Thursday. Thank you so much for making time for this program. My name is Brian Amwai. And on behalf of everybody that has made this production a success, I want to thank you, the viewer, for watching. Have yourselves a lovely night. And let's do this again next week.